After Apple's announcement of the iPhone 14 series, the question came down to which iPhone 14 model is the one to get and which one will I be ordering for testing and review. And after having a couple of days to let it sink in, I've come to a very interesting conclusion that you should buy the iPhone 14 Pro and not the 14 Pro Max. I say this because the first reason for me has got to be the dynamic island. Now, look, this feature is not found on the static island models, i.e. the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus, but only on the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, thanks to having the top center position pill-shaped housing for the smaller Face ID sensors and the selfie camera. This isn't something I'm totally in love with, but I can 100% admit that this is a clever way of making what is a visual dimple look at least fun and interactive with your apps and UI. And it's almost like a unique take on what is an always active widget, which yet again, I may not love, but I have to admit so far, it's very clever. My concerns of the front-facing camera having more smudges because you can't actually physically interact with the dynamic island is still there. But I think overall, because of the smaller 6.1-inch display size, you will have a better reachability experience when interacting with it. And this is one of the core reasons why getting the iPhone 14 Pro makes more sense than the iPhone 14 Pro Max, because judging from my experience of using both the iPhone 13 Pro currently and the 13 Pro Max previously, even if we go all the way back as far as the iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max, the physical handling of an Apple Pro Max phone and the software optimization is not that great in my opinion. And I think this is pretty much going to be the same issue for the 14 Pro Max. You will get the same camera features on the 14 Pro. I repeat, people, you will get the same camera features as on the iPhone 14 Pro Max on the 14 Pro, meaning the same hardware and software features. For an iPhone, this is the biggest change to the camera hardware since arguably the iPhone 6s, which did see an increase from 8 megapixels to 12 megapixels and the introduction of 4K video for the first time on an iPhone. And it does indeed take me back, because the iPhone 6s Plus was my first video camera I used to start this very YouTube channel. So needless to say, as someone who does a lot of camera comparisons on the channel and also just overall values a good camera experience and quality on a smartphone, I'm definitely excited to see how the new 48 megapixel main wide sensor actually behaves in action, and also improved ultra wide lens, as well as that main selfie camera at the front having improvements as well. I do wish we did see improvements to the zoom lens, moving to at least up to a true 5x optical zoom, and the introduction of usable 8K video with no crop, minimal rolling shutter, and good video stabilization up to 30 and maybe 60 frames per second, maybe pushing it. But for now, seeing video features like portrait mode, or Apple, as they like to call it, cinematic video in 4K 30 frames per second and a 24 frames per second option has me seriously hyped to test this out. Now, in the past, if you go back and look as far as something like the iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max, the camera hardware was different enough where if you really valued having the best camera experience from Apple, you would have to go for the Pro Max model, even if you did not like the size or get along with it. In this case though, the iPhone 14 Pro has the same camera hardware and features, so there is no need and pressure to get the iPhone 14 Pro Max if the camera is the main reason for the best experience. And hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. Yeah, that out of the way, let's carry on with the video. Even with iOS 16 pretty much here and now official, it is still the case that years on and as mature as iOS is in its current state, the best software experience for iOS is still on a smaller sub 6.7-inch display. The Pro Max just offers a blown up version of iOS with no additional benefits of things like true multitasking with the ability to run multiple apps at the same time, and it still suffers from the lack of great reachability in general when navigating through the UI and the OS when dealing with a larger display canvas. It was a big issue for me going all the way back when I owned the iPhone XS Max, which was one of the main reasons why I got rid of the 12 Pro Max and the 13 Pro Max and stuck with the iPhone 13 Pro as pretty much the iPhone that I use for testing and review. This reason here is not to discredit the Pro Max model in general, because if the iPhone 13 Pro Max is anything to go by, the next to the iPhone 14 Plus, The 14 Pro Max will have some of the best battery life you can get on any smartphone, let alone an iPhone. We don't know officially the capacity of the battery and the general battery performance yet, but don't count the iPhone 14 Pro out when it comes to battery life, because using the iPhone 13 Pro, the standby time is excellent, and I was still getting a solid consistently 8 to 7 hours of screen on time. Yes, the 13 Pro Max without a doubt is the gold standard for getting somewhere between 9 to 10 hours of screen on time consistently. Next to other phones, honestly, if you go back to the 13 Pro, it is still an all-day battery life, and thanks to obviously the optimization of the 4nm A16 chip, even with Apple's new always dim display, always on display. Yes, always on display. I still think the iPhone 14 Pro is going to give amazing battery life. Last for sure is the display experience. And yes, size and resolution does set the Pro and the Max apart, but you get all the core improvements across the board with the newer LTPO display that can go as low as 1 Hz. And the 3 levels of maximum brightness at 1000 nits sustained, 1600 nits for HDR, and a massive 2000 nits for outdoor brightness, making the 14 Pro series the brightest display at the moment you can find on a smartphone. The real question is, in the end, which one did I order? Well, I did order an iPhone 14 Pro 256 gig in the gold color through my upgrade on my carrier network with EE, and it should be, fingers crossed, here coming on launch day on the 16th of September. So definitely make sure you are stay tuned for all the coverage on it. If you are looking to get the iPhone 14, which one did you order and why? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.